Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you almost this afternoon for early afternoon almost, for a re-review for the final re-review for Imagine Dragons' latest album they released a few years ago, which is for Origins, that I just got done listening to again. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for this album and let you know my thoughts on it. So let's dive into this review. Now, I was not impressed with this album, to be honest. Now, coming back to it again, I can see why it's not a good album. There's a lot of critics bashing this album, and I don't blame them, because this album sucks. Natural was probably, well, there were probably some songs that were fine, but no, there were some shitty songs too. Uh, the shitty songs kind of really brought down the rating for this album that I'm gonna give it. Natural, like I was trying to say, was a pretty solid song. Wasn't that crazy about it as much at first because of Dan Reynolds singing and yelling in the song and kind of doing a scream pitch. It sounded alright, but yeah, the song didn't do so bad. It was a pretty solid opener. Then comes Boomerang, and it seems like they're going back to doing this pop crap or whatever that they're going for with this song, and it just doesn't sound very good. It's just ugh, cheesy to listen through for this song. Machine was a pretty solid track. Didn't hate it. I gave that a 4.5 out of 5. It wasn't a bad song. Cool Out was ugh, not very good. It was but yeah, it leads into the next song, which is probably one of my favorite songs on the album, which is Bad Liar. It's not a bad song, but it did pretty solid for what it was going for. Then comes West Coast, and oh god, this song was. Ugh. I don't like it when Dan Reynolds is singing, I'll be your West Coast sonny. It just doesn't sound very good. It. I remember reviewing this a few years ago, or almost 3 years ago, and yeah, I still feel the same about what I feel now listening to this album again. But this time, there's one new song on this album that I really hated, and I'm starting to hate now, which is Bullet in a Gun. And that song is disappointing. It's just annoying too, as well, with the verses. The verses are nothing but crap, honestly. And Dan Reynolds is not really trying to make an effort to write better lyrics for that song. Zero was very cheesy and very corny. I just wasn't crazy about that song, in my honest opinion. And keep in mind, this is just my honest opinion. You don't have to agree with me on it. It's just how I'm feeling when I'm listening to this god awful album. Uh, Digital was just a mess. It was a mess of a song with the I want a new world, I want the order. I don't like that, and I don't like the beat to it. It's very annoying too. Only brings back the album to a better. It brings the album back to life a little bit, but not enough to give it a really good rating. Only was probably a pretty solid song, so I gave it a decent rating of a 4 out of 5. Some of Dan Reynolds' falsetto voice in that song just is kind of cringy, to be honest. Stuck was, oh, something. Not something very good, but it was meh. It was just a meh song. The verses were okay, but I don't like how Dan Reynolds is going, I'm feeling nee. It just sounds really annoying. The way I'm singing it, it doesn't sound very good, but it's just the way he's singing with that falsetto voice with the verses. It just does not sound very good. Love was too cheery of a song and too corny, and I just wasn't crazy about it. I know I'm repeating the same things with saying cheesy and corny. It's just this album was fucking corny as fuck. Birds was a pretty decent song. So was Burnout. Real Life and Born to Be Yours with Kygo. Uh, they were pretty average songs, but yeah, the deluxe edition was a little bit better, but the whole album as a whole, it's not good. So overall, I think Imagine Dragons' Origins, the re-review that I just did for you guys, is probably gonna get a lesser rating than what I originally gave it when I reviewed it November 9th of 2018. So definitely go check out my other review for it. It may not be the best review, but this one should be a better one. So for a score, I'm going to give it a really bad rating of a 5 out of 10. This album sucked. It was not very good. I think they could have done a whole lot better and worked a lot harder on their songs instead of making cheesy ones. And just, I'm not a huge fan of Imagine Dragons like I was back in the day. I grew out of them because they seem like a kid friendly kind of band or teenager friendly or whatever you call it. This band's for kids mostly. So kids will like this band, but I don't. And that's just my opinion. They're just not a good band. They just don't make very good songs. Their newest songs, Follow You and Cutthroat. I think Cutthroat was the worst thing I heard. But Wrecked was probably a pretty solid song. So it was sad, but it was really solid. And I will be reviewing Mercury Act 1 on September 3rd, so definitely expect me to review it on September 3rd. But definitely comment below. Let me know what you guys thought. Sorry about my sniffle or whatever. I'm just congested a bit. Let me know what you guys thought of the Imagine Dragons Origins re-review if you heard this album already. And if you like this album, well, this re-review that I did for the final re-review for Imagine Dragons' discography, comment below and let me know your thoughts on it. Tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can to support the channel. I was trying to get done with it as fast as I could to close out this video and rate this album. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Keep in mind it's just my honest opinion on what I thought of this album. You don't have to agree with me on it. It's just I'm not a huge fan of Imagine Dragons like I was anymore. Cuz the first two albums were pretty solid. The other two, like Evolve and Origins, were shitty in my personal opinion. They just flat out sucked. Uh, but yeah, that's just how I feel when I listen to the Imagine Dragons songs now. They're not for me anymore. I grew out of them already. But I will be returning to you for, I think I'll be doing a versus video tonight. I think. I don't know for sure. It's already my lunchtime, so I just wanted to return to you for this review to see how it would perform. And sorry about my last video yesterday. I was getting a little bit political with the Forever Purge thing. I was just pointing out my honest facts on what I've noticed and what could have happened if this happened and all that with the Purge thing and all that could have happened by a certain politician. I didn't mean to go into politics too much. It's just some people will agree with you and some people won't. But stay safe. Take care. Hope you like this re-review for Imagine Dragons Origins. And I did forget Zero was one of the worst songs on this album. I did not like it. It just sounded very crappy. So yeah, I'll definitely see you in my next review.